Uh, Namaste, Salam Alaikum, Shalom, Hare Krishna, Aloha, Win Gapo. Am I forgetting something? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Cleo. I want to do a video for you. I have prepared and not prepared this very well. I'm sorry. I've drawn one card. I put quite a lot of effort in writing a community post about healing, psychological, spiritual healing, and medical healing. Medical healing meaning on general physical health, but also psychiatric, social, psychological, emotional. If you know what card I drew and that I did not ask to be very short in my video, it's very strange that I'm drawing this card, because the card I drew was about healing. So I can just refer to my community page for some initiatives to heal on several planes in several ways. So I'm thinking where I should start. I'm sorry you didn't hear from me for 2 weeks. I must say I had hoped to have moved. I haven't. I'm also going to say some other things. I'm going to be very honest and personal. But one of the reasons you don't see me is because my day schedule, my day rhythm is very, very bad. And to be honest, this is not just because of my medical condition, my somatic medical condition, the hypothalamic shock, diabetes, stuff like that. But it's also because I'm taking some psychiatric drugs. Throughout all the abuse I've gone through, I've also been mind controlled. And to my own diagnosis, I developed compulsive thinking. And I mean with compulsive thinking that I was a little negative. I feel like if you know my situation, it's quite normal. Because I've been prostituted in the streets and stuff like that, naked and crazy and stuff like that. I think it's quite natural to feel that you have an anxiety or think that other people will condemn you. I felt like that. And the other problem I had a problem with, that the psychopath forced me to always serve him, stuff like that. So I couldn't receive my loved ones their support. It was always like I had to put the initiative first. I cannot just receive. I have to do something. I cannot receive. I have to. Yeah, I don't know how to put it in English. I don't know if I come across clearly. I'm sorry. I want to be fast, and I already feel that I'm starting to stutter. That's because of my hypothalamic shock. So that's why I'm starting to freeze. But when you have stress, usually you have fight, flight, and freeze. I understand the freeze reaction now, because you don't have the energy and you will collapse whenever you try to fight or flight, you will collapse, so you freeze. That's also something I understand now, why some people freeze. That's because when you really don't have any energy anymore and you have no blood and stuff like that, you can only freeze, because you will collapse if you do too much effort. And I'm already out of my breath. What was I trying to say? I was saying about my daily routine. I don't know where I was. I'm sorry. Too much stress being online live. But I was taking psychiatric medication, and I was talking about the compulsive thinking, and I mentioned the compulsive thinking I had. And I felt like it's compulsive thinking and a little not normal, because normally I'm quite resilient. And I would just say, when this happened before I went to the hospital, I don't mean now to the hospital, but June, May for last year. And they prostituted me before I went to the hospital. And I just said, like, oh, I feel very bad, I'm ashamed, stuff like that. But there was also a part in me that said, like, I'm just like a Holocaust survivor. You know, it's not my fault this happened. This is because I'm drugged. And if people are negative towards me, they should just fuck off, because I'm a victim. I didn't do that. They should not just judge me. So I had some kind of resilient thinking. So I felt very condemned. I felt very ashamed, but I also have resilient thinking, which made me prevent my self-image damage. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And this resilient thinking fell away. So it became compulsive. There was nothing to correct it anymore. And I went when I was in hospital, I asked something for compulsive thinking. And I'm very afraid, because normally you treat compulsive thinking, that's most of the time very negative thinking, negative about yourself. I thought other people would think negative of me, for instance. I'm afraid of antidepressants, because people don't get off of them anymore. They become very horrible sick and feel miserable when they try to stop antidepressants. And some people even, people, when they're depressed, sometimes they feel like they don't have any energy and they're suicidal, and then they take the antidepressants, and then all of a sudden they have energy and they do commit suicide. So antidepressants, I'm a little bit afraid of them. And so I was very skeptical and afraid to use antidepressants. I'm saying it a little bit in my own way. But I thought, like, I already know antipsychotics, and they're also a little anti-compulsive. So I said, give me an antipsychotic, give me a neurolepticum. And they gave me, and I really did feel better. This is the first time in my life that I really felt a psychological difference because of the medication. All of the time I just felt side effects, Parkinson-like side effects. I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm not going to complain about all the horrible side effects of neuroleptica. But this time I felt different. And there was another psychiatric medication that I wanted to use, Etomine. I don't know the real names. These are just the names you can buy them by. Because I felt, like I said, like, I have this and that problem. I want some medication for that. The first time in my life, And these medications psychiatrically help me very well, or psychologically help me very well. But the side effects on my somatic functioning is terrible. They give me hypoglycemic, so low blood sugar. And I don't get out of bed. I have a lot of backache because of low blood sugar. My muscles are weak. I cannot get out of bed. My entire day, I don't eat enough. I don't drink enough. It's one terrible side effects of not taking care of myself very well. So I really wanted the psychiatric drugs, but there are too many side effects making my bodily health very bad. So that's why I wanted to use something different that didn't have the side effects like big pharma psychiatric drugs. And I'm going to talk about that after I've read the card. I hope I can tell it well, because I already feel that this video is not that well. I also wanted to say I was planning to redo my previous video and don't sing that off key anymore. But like you've seen, it never happened. I planned to make a video with Eastern Orthodox Easter, but I didn't do it. I didn't amount to anything. I thought yesterday it's Sugar Festival for the Muslims. Happy Eid Fitr, or I don't know how it was again, but Happy Sugar Festival for the Muslims. I amount to nothing. I'm sorry. At least I'm doing it one day afterwards and not 1 week afterwards again. So 3 weeks, no nothing. But I wanted to redo the video and sing a little bit better. Oh, that reminds me. I have to say something about the previous video. I don't have it here, but they were singing something like the last sentence. Wait. Many nights we prayed with no proof that anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, though we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. I didn't give any explanation to the last sentence, but afterwards I thought like, damn, that was very on point too. Because all the time I was moving mountains long before I knew I could. I thought I was just crazy. I thought there's something wrong with me. And I was moving those mountains thinking I was crazy. I was not moving any mountains while I was moving mountains. That's all the thing I want to say. That's all I want to add to the previous video. Now I am losing my red thread again. I'm sorry. I feel better, people. I do really feel better, but you see, because of the circumstance, I'm not going to, maybe I will tell something about it later on, but I feel like I should hurry. I want to finish this video quickly, and immediately you feel the effect of my hypothalamic shock. Because if you are stressed, you start stuttering, you start speaking very loud, you haperen, I don't know how to put it in English, and stuff like that. So maybe if I paradoxically just stay calm and just say, oh, I don't care how long this video will be, maybe then everything will be better. Because I'm already like falling over my own feet right now. Yeah, it's a little crazy. So I've talked about my previous video. I've talked about that why I didn't do the video, because my physical health is very bad. It's a disaster. It's a complete disaster with this product I'm using. Normally I sleep like 12 to 17 hours. 12 to 17 fucking hours. 17 fucking hours. I'm sorry, I'm getting crazy because it's ruining my life. And it's ruining my life when I'm normal, you know. But if I have to eat and drink a lot of things to get over my hypothalamic shock, then it's disastrous. If I don't eat, I don't take my medication. I mean my supplements, my natural medication. It's a disaster. It's making me more sick. And I will continue after doing the card reading, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this on video. I'm sorry, my doctors, because it's very bad for my somatic health. I'm going to try to just cut the fucking medication. And I'm trying to opvangen. How do you put that in English? I'm trying to catch it with doing something in another kind of medication. So I'm using Emocons. I'm just going to pronounce it in the Dutch way. For emotional concentration, that's plant-based medicine for psychiatric and psychological problems. And I'm going to try to use 2 Emocons, one that's antipsychotic, because if you stop with antipsychotics from very high until low, I'm not saying very, very high, but quite high until very low, you can get psychotic. I've tried it before and I didn't get psychotic. I got very impulsive. So that's why I'm also taking an Emocon that's against impulsiveness for more impulse control. So people, the next week, if you see me acting crazy, I don't mean like drugs. I'm not going to be like all of a sudden sexual and stuff like that because I'm psychotic because of the medication. It's more like I'm saying, I don't know, I'm seeing aliens, whatever, stuff like that. Now they're going to drug me and tell me that I'm seeing aliens. No, I'm just kidding, but I just want to say, like, I'm going to take a huge risk because of all of my problems, and maybe I'm talking too much about my medical problems, so I'm going to stop. But I'm a little bit afraid of what's going to happen when I stop, if I can stop my psychiatric medication of Big Pharma and go to another psychiatric drugs, but not from Big Pharma. I think I'm going to start with singing one song, just one song. It's not very linked to the topic of today, but I found it a very good lyric, and it came in handy, the lyric, a few weeks ago. You all know I've been hospitalized, and you all know I have problems with police officers. And there was an event that they tried to kill me. So I went to the police station, and this police officer treated me really bad, but she was actually a good person, but she treated me bad so she could help me, so she could act like, yeah, I'm treating her bad, but I'm helping her secretly, And she wanted me to say she was treating me bad and report her to the Comité P, and then later on save her. But she didn't say that out loud. But I said, is that what you are planning to do? Why are you doing this? I don't want to report you to the Comité P. I don't want to complain about you because I'm not sure if I can rechtzetten, if I can correct it, and maybe you will have a problem if I complain about you. But she wanted to be sacrificed, and I sacrificed myself because of her. It's a long story. And then a little later on, police officers took me to the hospital I'm in a fight with. And they were, because, I told you that I'm having a hypothalamic shock. So I get very loud. I speak very loud. They can hear me. I'm a Dutch person. They always hear me. But with the hypothalamic shock, it's even worse. So when I was talking to this police officer, everybody could hear my reasoning. Hear me saying, no, I don't want to report you to the Comité P. I like you. I don't want to you. You treat me bad, but I like you. Everybody heard it. So I guess it went around. I don't know. And these police officers, there were other police officers in Gashuisberg. They were like alluding to it, like, you like this police officer, don't you? You love her, don't you? I don't mean romantically, yeah, but I mean just, sometimes you have sympathy for somebody, you have a big heart for somebody, that you even take. I don't know what taking a bait, because I have never heard, I've never translated it literally, but I guess it's something like taking a bait. I don't know what bait is, but I guess it's something like taking a bait. I wanted to take a bait for her because I didn't want her to be hurt. And she took a bait for me, or wanted to take a bait for me. And those police officers in Gashuisberg, they were like, tell her name, tell her you love her, tell her you love her, It's really crazy. And then I said, I don't want to say it because I don't want to make problems for her. I don't want her to have problems if I say her name and she'll have problems because of me. And then I said something from this song I'm going to sing. And then I felt like, still I didn't do the conclusions of the song because I wanted to protect her. But yeah, I will sing it just. It's very on point. I don't know, touché, how do you put it? I can keep a secret and throw away the key, but sometimes to release it is to set our children free. And then it goes on. So I can keep a secret and throw away the key, but sometimes to release it is to set our children free. Because that is what also is happening to me in all of my life. I'm not saying that the singer is having this example before her eyes, but I have a lot of people that are secretly for me, and I'm secretly for them. I'm not going to say any names now. I want to, but I'm not going to do that. There are people that are treating me very bad, but are secretly protecting me, of worse. Maybe not of, they're not totally protecting me, but they're protecting me of worse. Because if they come about openly that they don't condemn me and like me, they can be erased and they can have no function of protecting me anymore at all. And I'm doing the same with the other people. Dus I had in psychiatry, for instance, maybe they thought I was just naive, but there were some people I said like, no, I'm not going to say anything positive about you in my journal. I'm going to act very negative so I can protect you. And the same was with the police officers. There was also, no, I'm not going to say that. So, by always acting like there's nothing positive and everything is negative, and you can protect somebody by that, but sometimes to release the secret is to set our children free, because in this case the other people would know like, she's complaining to Comité P, but she's actually not that bad about all the persons. Sometimes she complains and behind their back say, oh, it was not that bad to Comité P. Or how would I put it, that they think that everything is negative while I'm trying to protect them. And if I'm saying that, they know that I'm not that negative and that I'm forgiving and that I can like persons that I previously did less. If I can put it like that. I think the normal example of that paragraph, I don't know how I don't know how you say it in English. It's like you have, for instance, you have abuse in the family and you are very ashamed of it and you don't say anything at all. And you feel like, for instance, your grandmother got drugged and stuff like me, for instance. But I'm not. I don't know if I'm giving a good example, but somehow they feel very afraid. So maybe other people thought like, you are crazy but they are secretly thinking, look, no, I'm drugged. I'm not crazy. I'm just drugged. And if you keep that, for instance, that secret to yourself and throw it away, and or no, I'm going to give another. I'm sorry. I'm going to give another example. For instance, if you have like a narcissistic parent, and you don't want to blame the narcissistic parent, and you want to forgive, and you hide all the problems, and you throw away the key. I can keep a secret and throw away the key. You're not mentioning that the parent was narcissistic. But if you sometimes release the secret, they know what's going on. Just like in the previous example, they know there's nothing psychiatric there. They're just drugged. So the people going, the grandchildren or whatever, don't have to start all over again. They know they're just being drugged. It's easier for the children. If you or you have some shameful secret, whatever, I'm maybe not being drugged, or maybe being ashamed of something. And if you can mention your ashamedness, for instance, I'm ashamed to hug my mother. I'm giving an example of Attract Passion, Gaspar Dolinar. He was afraid to hug his mother. He was raised in a family where they were afraid to show affection. If you can throw away the secret, or throw away the key of the secret, but if you can release the secret and say, I feel really like I don't like not hugging you as a mother. You know what I mean. And you can say like, it hurt me. And you can say it to your children like, oh, my mother didn't hug me. And that's why I'm quite cold now. If your children hear this, they can mentalize it, like we say in psychology. They can say like, oh, that's why my father doesn't hug me. Not because there's something wrong with me. It's because he's been through some experiences. Maybe this is the best example. And if you can mentalize it, like, oh, he's just been through certain experiences, you're more resilient. You don't take it as personal. If you always act very cold, and you have a child and he runs to you and wants to hug you, and you're like, don't do that, they will pull it on them. I don't know if it's correct English. They will blame themselves. But if you can release the secret, like, I had a trauma, and that's why I'm afraid to hug you, the children will be set free. Maybe that's the best example. Maybe I should have thought about it before I was giving this example. I'm sorry. How long am I talking? 30 minutes almost. Okay. So I guess I told a little bit about the background of why I like the song. I'm not going to sing I'm going to explain everything because it will take too long. I would just say this: we all get hurt by love. I've mentioned that in the previous video, and we all have our cross to bear. Cross to bear means like you're suffering. We're suffering because of our love that we've been hurt by our parents, by our family, by our friends, by our boyfriends, by our girlfriends, by our lovers, stuff like that. They say something, we want their love, and they say something and we secretly hurt. For instance, I was originally very I don't know how to say that in English, but I had my own way. I knew what I wanted, and I just knew. And if somebody said like, do you want to eat meat? I mean, like 10 years, 20 years ago, I would say no. I'm a vegan. Not anymore. I'm not a vegan anymore. Not even completely vegetarian. But I had my own way. I had a strong will. And if you have a friend that breaks you in that area, like I say, do you want to eat meat? No. Woof woof. They act like you should obey more. You get broken. You feel like, oh, I'm too willful. I'm too stubborn. I'm too much myself. You start adjusting. You get hurt by love because you want to be liked. And if you're willful in yourself and you're broken, you're like they act. I got a dog by that psychopathic friend of mine. Really, I don't mean a real dog. I don't know what you're going to see if I get up, but I'm going to show you. Don't look at my things. No, I don't have it anymore. I've put it somewhere, but I had a little stuffed animal in the form of a dog, because if I said, like, I don't want to eat meat, I'm just giving a stupid example, and that person said, you are too stubborn, and I said like, you want me to obey, like, woof woof, I'm a dog, and they give me literally a dog, like, you're too stubborn. You get hurt by love. You think like, oh, I shouldn't be the way I am. And that's the cross I bear. Like Jesus bear his literal cross. We all bear our psychological, social, emotional, spiritual crosses, not figurative. Figurative crosses. We all get hurt by love, for instance. So I hope it's more clear now what I mean by hurt by love. People, you sometimes you have a strong asset, but you think at the time not, because people are afraid of you or want to break your power, and you adjust because you want to be liked. And yeah, I hope it's clear. So I didn't practice this song that much, a little bit more than the previous ones, but the previous ones I sang before, not really, just sing along on the radio. So I didn't hear this on the radio. It's just because of the police officers that it came back to my mind. It's Confide in Me from Kylie Minogue. And I think it was from the year 1994, but I could be wrong. Maybe 1993, something like that. The early 90s, half 90s, early 90s. I didn't practice too much, but I'm going to try to sing, and I'm going to sit like this. So I'm sorry, I'm having a bad posture. I'm going to breathe so I don't, I stand in the distance, a view from afar. Should I offer some assistance? Should it matter who you are? We all get hurt by love, and we all have our cross to bear. But in the name of understanding now, our problems should be shared. Confide in me. Confide in me. I can keep a secret and throw away the key. But sometimes to release it is to set our children free. We all get hurt by love, and we all have our cross to bear. But in the name of understanding now, our problems should be shared. Confide in me. Confide in me. Confide in me. Confide in me. Stick or twist. The choice is yours. Hit or miss. What mine is yours. Stick or twist. The choice is yours. Hit or miss. What mine is yours. We all get hurt by love. And we all have a cross to bear. But in the name of understanding now, our problems should be shared. Confide in me. Confide in me. Confide in me. Confide in me. So that is Confide in Me by Kylie Minogue. She was an Australian, if I'm correct, Australian actress from Neighbours. I drew one card. I didn't put it anywhere, so it's a mess here. So I cannot do anything normally. It's from this deck, and I see that it's mirrored. I cannot put it behind the camera, so it's Oracle of the Angels, Richard Webster, illustrated by Eric Williams. This is the booklet, but it's no use. It's also mirrored. And I drew this card. There's only one card I drew. I like that. I'm going to sing a song. I'm not going to do everything, and you already see it. It's already more than half an hour. It's card 1, Raphael, Archangel Raphael. I'm going to read everything, and it's in English. Healing. Raphael is usually depicted as a traveler. He wears light yellow casual robes and sandals. He carries a long staff in one hand and a fish in the other. He has a canteen attached to his belt. Raphael has long fair hair. Around his shoulder he has a violet cloak. Raphael has been called the angel of the sun. Consequently, the sun is usually visible in the background whenever Raphael is depicted. Raphael is one of the guardians of the tree of life in the Garden of Eden, and part of this garden can be seen behind him. Raphael is associated with healing for many reasons, because mainly it is because he restored the eyesight of Tobit using gall from a huge fish. Raphael also instructed Noah, and according to Jewish legend gave him a book on medicine. Raphael also helped Solomon build his great temple. He is also believed to be the angel who troubled the water at the pool of Bethesda. The first person who stepped into the pool after troubling was cured. Challenge. You need physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual healing. You may not be aware of this, but it is important you allow enough time for your body, mind, and spirit to restore itself so you can work at your very best. A walk in the park or some quiet time in which you nurture yourself will pay big dividends. So that was my only card I drew. I didn't print it, so I'm going away from my own page now. I don't know where I can. I'm going to mention or didn't I think I had something there on it? No. Oh. I had hoped. So I have suggestions for healing in my community page. I posted a few days ago, I posted a post on some healing initiatives on all planes. And today, not so much before this video, I've adjusted my post and put additional information. And I'm going to my own. Now I cannot see myself anymore. I hope I can scroll a little bit normal. Oh no, it's not good. Okay. So the first initiative I want to mention is of Lori Ladd. She has her Align Sessions 2.0 this coming 26th of April. So that's, I think, Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. And it's lasting for 3 weeks. And it's still too much for me. Only $59, but you get 21 days of very good guided meditation, which helped me a lot. And I think I'm a good meditator. I like a psychological meditation, which we call focusing in client center therapy. And I thought I had it all together when it comes to meditation. But the things she said, the little suggestions she gave, they were attributing to my meditation techniques. So she really enriched my meditation techniques. And you know, if you hear what technique she used, you will think like, oh, that's so simple, but it's simple and so profound, and you have to think of it the way she does. And it's it's simple, but it's brilliant at the same time. It's more than brilliant because it's very altering of your deep conscious and unconscious mind. And it was very good for me to have this Align 2.0. No, it was not 2.0 then. The first Align session, it was very good. Mel Robbins has Take Control. I've registered. She already sent her first video. But I'm sorry, people. When I heard the explanation, I thought it was brilliant. And I thought like, oh, I have to do it. And I found her other social media posts very interesting. And she's a very good guide for me. She says the right things at the right time. And oh, you're such a wise person, you know, you're profound, just like Lori Ladd. And also very humble. Well, she maybe promotes herself in the video, but if you see all the videos and how wise she is and how spot on, and she's so humble, so pure. You know, a lot of people, when they have something wise to say, you can see by their radiance, like, oh, I'm so wise, I'm so special, and you feel their ego. But to like Lori Ladd and Mel Robbins, you don't feel that. They're very humble. And I'm not saying that the other persons I'm going to mention don't have that characteristic. They all have. Else I wouldn't promote them. But like I wanted to say, I didn't see her video yet because, like I said, if I see her video, I would have made my own video. You know, it's a little stupid. I don't know the exact date, and I don't know where you can register. I've said it on my community page as well. But there's another full-time purpose initiative to become a spiritual conscious entrepreneur on YouTube, for instance, or social media. And they guide you how to do it. It's by Victor Odo, Aaron Doughty, Matt Shaffer. I've mentioned it in previous videos when I was doing my first session with them, and it was good, very good. I'm going to try to be a little bit faster. It's already gone by, but the energy cleansings of my daily coach or daily coffee, they're really profound, and they have helped me a lot as well. It's really, you know, sometimes you're looking like, how can such a thing have such a profound effect? And it does. So thank you, Daily Coffee, for your energy cleansings. I would recommend if there's another moon magic cleansing for people to do it, but those moon magic cleansings are collective and cheaper. But if you do a personal one, it's more profound and more adjusted to your needs, but it's also more expensive. I'm saying here that that I'm not mentioning all the great guides of mine. There are a lot of people which I found very profound. I feel like they're saying the right things, and I feel guided because of their wisdom. One of them is I've mentioned him now, but he's not in the list. But Attract Passion, Attract Passion, Gasper Dolinar. He's also somebody I like a lot and like to follow. But Simone Hoffman is also one of them. She gives readings and stuff like that. She has a YouTube channel, but her name changes a lot. But you can, on Etsy shop, you can ask for a personal reading with her. I have the link with the Etsy shop here as well. Medical treatments. So now I've mentioned programs and how do I call it? Programs and courses. So these are more mental, to put it like that, very short, to the box. I don't know how to say that in English. So these are social, emotional, spiritual, psychological, whatever. Now the medical treatments. The first, the one I want to talk about most is at the last, but I'm not going to mention all the things because it will be too long. But Promethean Wellness by Healing Out Loud on Instagram. I think his real name is Jason, but I'm not sure. He has a lot of supplements, and this is I'm putting him above everybody in medical treatment, not because I know his products, but the way he's working is the way I'm working normally. The way he works is the way I'm familiar most. And so I know, like, if you have stress, you can use ashwagandha, stuff like that. So I know what supplements, what natural treatments he can use. And I have a lot of experience with that. And if I'm looking at his products, they are spot on. His collection for all kinds of like anxiety and stress, it's like spot on. He has also just like normal medical treatments, and they're spot on too. He really knows what's important with medical treatments. I mean, psychological treatments, but also with more general physiological treatments. He really knows what's important. So his products are very spot on. I didn't use them personally. It's a pity because he's in Canada, I think, and I don't know if I can afford to ship it towards here. But they're I think they're really good and they're organic. There was something else I wanted to say, but what was it? Yeah, I just wanted to say something about his background. So I'm not following him because he's making supplements. He's on Instagram. He is a psychology teacher, or was a psychology teacher. I don't know what he's doing right now, but I guess he still is a psychology teacher. I think in secondary school or something. I don't know how you put it in English, but it sounded like that. But maybe he's a professor at university. I have no idea. And he has a channel on narcissism and abuse. He's a psychologist, and he's also very spot on towards antagonistic abuse, to put it like that, and narcissistic abuse, mental health. He's a good guide, and he's been through narcissistic abuse himself, and he knows what physical and mental effects it has. So he's not just proposing those supplements like buy my supplement because I want to get rich. He knows what's important, just like me. I found out my way through all kinds of problems as well. And if you know like this and this works, and you know like you have to have this components and this components, you want to do it yourself because you know the best way to put it. And sometimes the market doesn't do it because they're a little corrupt. I'm not saying that they're all corrupt, but you know, sometimes if you go to the Kruidvat, I'm sorry I'm saying this, and you buy chrome or chromium, I don't know how you put it in English, and you have a chloorverbinding, chlor, I don't know how to put it in English, you think you can lose weight because of chrome, but the chlor makes you, just like in a swimming pool, extract all the water out of your cells, so you're losing weight because all your cells excrete everything and die, you know, stuff like that. Dus you have all kinds of chromium verbindingen, how do you say that, connections. You GTF, glucose tolerance factor, stuff like that. And you have also other verbindingen, I don't know how to put it, connections. So you have to know, not all is the same. Sometimes you have, I'm not using chromium to lose weight because of my sugar problems. And if you have sugar problems, sometimes you gain weight because your insulin isn't working and it stores all kind of fat. But sometimes you lose weight, so stuff like that. So I'm using chromium for my diabetes. And you have to know what kind of chromium verbinding connection you take, because it's important. And if you have struggled with your health and mental health, and you figured out how to treat yourself, you just want to help other people because it helps you very a lot. Because if you go to a normal doctor, you don't get these supplements. You don't know what to do. You don't know what bundle to take because he has all kinds of bundles. And these bundles are very good. You don't know what to do. You have to find out, oh, I have to take vitamin B. Oh, I have to take chromium. You have to all find it out once by once and stuff like that. I have to take ashwagandha, stuff like that. And if you have him, you have all these things together and you don't have to find it out anymore. I'm giving more information or more thinking why I like his products than I did on the page. But then you know why I'm promoting his products. I didn't even use them, but that's because the rationale you have to, if you have to find it out yourself, you have to do much more work. And he has made all kinds of bundles with reduction, so you know you don't only have to take ashwagandha, you take also this and you take also that. It's I think it's just good. doTERRA, I don't know what I'm going to say about that. These are, amongst others, essential oils. They have supplements as well in care products. They have very high quality. So I'm talking about essential oils. I have a little bit of knowledge of that, but a little less than the previous kind of products. The supplements with orthomolecular treatment, like high dose vitamins and huistuin- en keukenmiddelen like ashwagandha. I'm not saying that ashwagandha is a huistuin- en keukenmiddel, but you know what I mean, like onions and stuff like that. So normally the market on essential oils is unregulated. So they can say like, oh, it's 100% natural and 100% full of product, but only 3% of it has to be really in it. So they can cheat a lot and dilute a lot and stuff like that. And doTERRA has very high quality essential oils. So they you can track them, what's inside, and it's like 100% full. So because the market is unregulated, they created their own system so you can track them, so you know they're right or how wrong, how right they are, in comparison towards other things that you cannot track. So that's one of the reasons why doTERRA is one of the reasons why a lot of doctors who work with essential oils use doTERRA. Is because they really have how do you say that, registered something, you can track their quality of products, and other products you cannot. And because of that, they're diluted. You don't know what's really inside. You cannot always ingest it. For instance, you take it internally, and you also have it on the bottle. It stands on the bottle. You cannot use it internally. You can only use it on your skin or stuff like that, or you can only diffuse it via aromatic, stuff for the air. So you cannot always take it ingest it. That's because the quality is not good. And with doTERRA, you can ingest all the products because their quality is not recommended, but it's guaranteed. So that's why doTERRA is recommended if you use essential oils. And they have essential oils per plant, like I'm just saying, like wild lemon or something, or wild orange. But you also have blends for your like immunity, mood, stuff like that. So you all have all kinds of things. It most of the time is preferred to work through a general practitioner because you get a reduction. And I've put on my community page that I recommend Maria Berkelaar, who was just like me. I feel drugged, and because she was too powerful, general practitioner, to give an alternative voice. But it's all on my community page. I will put a link below this video. And what I've trying to mention at the beginning is Emoconi by Philippe Girard. He's a pharmacist and self-educated phytotherapist. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. I'm having a bit of stomach ache. I'm sorry. So these are plant-based psychiatric and psychological medication. I've mentioned in my first post and in my latter post, of course, as well, that I have friends who seem to be very psychotic. They know about it themselves. They take higher doses of antipsychotics, but it doesn't work. They take Plantain and Emocon by Philippe Girard, and they have immediate relief. I think I can. I hope I can go back so I can see myself again. They have immediate relief. So that's profound. And I felt like when I posted it, I didn't take it myself, and some Emocon, and I have right now. At first, I took it with orange juice, and I felt intuitively I shouldn't do that. I don't know why, but he also says you have to take it on a sober stomach. I don't know if that's correct English, but you shouldn't eat anything. So don't do it with orange juice or stuff like that. So really do it with water. I'm doing it directly on my tongue. You can hear how many drops have fallen, so you don't have to see it. So it's okay to put it on your tongue. I've made quite a testimonial on my community page how it worked for me. I'm going to try to put it more clearly in this video. Oh my god, almost 60 minutes. Oh, I'm so terrible. I'm sorry. So I've told you about my compulsive thinking. I maybe I don't explain everything very well. I don't want to explain everything very well, but I want to explain something. I've put it already on my community page, but yeah, just like moments like this. I woke up this morning and I thought like, oh fuck, I should still make a video for YouTube. And normally I feel I have the tendency, if I have to do something, I feel I'm procrastinating. I feel like don't come. And because I have to make the video, I feel a lot of social obligation. Maybe I feel guilty if I don't make a video. It's not really that I feel that guilty, but enough to self-sabotage. So also, if I want to give something to Jonas and I'm ruining it, I feel like, oh no, you cannot come. You have to wait until everything is perfect. That's also one of my compulsions. So I feel guilty. I want to be perfect. And this morning, I thought to myself, I haven't made a video. And normally I knew I had these feelings that like, it cannot be okay for me now because I have to make this video. And I took the Emocon, so I'm going to show you. I have a blend, so and that's why I'm not calling them by name. I think it's this one for the morning. So I'm taking this Emocon in the morning. It has different kinds of extracts in it. And you know, I really feel this change of thought, of change of feeling. Normally I would feel like, damn, I have to make this fucking video. And I feel all kinds of blockages in myself. And now there was such a profound change in my psyche. Instead of feeling like I have to make this video, I have these social obligations, even towards the person who wants to help me. Like, I have to give you some chocolate, whatever. And the chocolate is broken. Oh, I don't feel well if you come now because I cannot give you any chocolate. Doesn't matter if he comes or not, but I feel these blockages. And today, normally I knew I would feel like blockages, like I cannot receive. And I took this Emocon and I didn't feel these blockages anymore. He's not here, but I didn't feel these blockages anymore. It was like I could put my everything in perspective. I mean, like I could prioriteiten stellen. I could I could put my priorities straight. Instead of thinking like, oh, I have to make a video which is not that important. Because if I make a video and I die because I didn't move, stuff like that, what's the use of the video? If I postpone my video because my life is more important than a fucking video, I think that's more healthy. Don't you think? If I can live because I put my priorities straight, much more healthy, isn't it? Maybe I don't know how many viewers I have. Maybe there are some viewers and who think like, oh, we want a video. I don't know, because originally I don't have any viewers or stuff like that. Not officially. But you can imagine that even if I feel like I have to make this video for you, if I sacrifice my life because I cannot receive any help and I cannot take action towards moving, just put it, I'm not saying it's like that, but just to make it simple because my English isn't that good. If I cannot take right action because I always do something wrong, instead of trying to do something to get out of here, I'm making a video. No, stuff like that. So I self-sabotage. If I, all of a sudden, I could put my priorities straight. I could say like, video. I can make a video if it's necessary. But I could feel that Jonas, I'm just going to say his name like that right now. I could finally feel like Jonas is more important. Normally I would feel like the video is more important, but now I could finally feel like, no, the video is not that important. Jonas is more important. Moving is more important. I am more important. Normally I wouldn't feel that because I always put other people ahead of myself. Now I finally felt like I should. From an empty cup you cannot pour. So I thought like, oh, he's not coming anyway, so maybe I can make this community post. Not because I'm not I cannot put my priorities straight, but I just, I have spare time, so why shouldn't I make a community post? But it took a lot of more time, and then I felt like, oh my god, is it that late? And I felt like, I felt like getting desperate and getting negative. So I thought, I'm going to use my Emocon. And I took another Emocon. So this was the morning. This is the morning, the whistling. It's a composition of several Emocons. And I felt like before I was like all desperate. And I felt like there's no way out. I felt like I've ruined it. Now I've taken my Emocon. And I know it's silly, but I'm not desperate anymore. It's not like I'm like all positive, like it's all going to be all right. I do more. It's more realistic. It's more like it's more like I feel you can have a sun and you can have clouds before it. And I had all these clouds before it. And the Emocons make the clouds move away. So the sun starts to shine again. Doesn't mean sometimes it's sunset, sometimes it's high on the afternoon, sometimes it's in the morning, but it's realistic. It's not clouded by the clouds. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not like if I'm going to pretend like it's the middle of the day while it's the end of the day. So I'm more optimistic than I should. And no, I'm just realistic. I'm just like it should be. Because the clouds are away, I'm more optimistic because those clouds were very negative. But I'm also not more negative, more positive than I should. It's not like oh, now it's going to all magically come together. I don't know. But I'm less negative because those clouds moved away. Those additional negative thinking, like, oh, it's never going to be okay. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's how I feel. So it's not like I'm here like, oh, it's definitely going to be okay today. I have no idea. But I'm less negative because it started to rain. It was clouded. I thought, oh my god, I fucked up again. And now it's just like, okay, it's not the middle of the day. It's not summer. Maybe it's I don't know what kind of solstice and whatever. It's yeah. So so this yesterday I went to Ostende to get my own Emocons on Friday. So I got back Friday night. I mean, really almost in the middle of the night. Because I said like, I have to have this Emocons. I cannot wait until Tuesday. I'm going to collect them. So I took my first Emocon on Friday night, but I took it with something. I shouldn't have done that. But I already felt like this was the humming Emocon. So that was in the night. You cannot see that very well, eh? This is a box. I will explain a little bit about it in a few minutes. So I already felt like I'm talking about the psychological effects I'm noticing in the middle of the day. This was the morning. This is the evening, the humming emoticon. And I immediately noticed that normally I wake up a lot during the night. And now I've slept very well. I didn't wake up all the time. So also that was very effective. I don't mention it, but I didn't mention it in my post. But that's also one of the effects. But I found the other effects more profound. I mean, profound, more noticeable, or extraordinary. That's what I wanted to say. Those other effects were more extraordinary, so more opvallend, more important to me. What else did I want to say? So I took the first Emocon Friday night. Then Saturday morning I took it with orange juice, and I felt I shouldn't do that. Then the first Emocon I took without spoiling, to put it like that, was yesterday evening, and I slept very well. And the first Emocon for the morning I took was this morning. And it's this morning that I felt a great difference. So I don't know, it's because I really intuitively felt I shouldn't really do that. I was really warned intuitively badly I shouldn't put the orange juice. So probably that's the reason I didn't feel any effect yesterday. But I really feel that you really feel this effect of the Emocons quite fast, very fast, to be honest. I'm not saying within a minute, but within several minutes you feel the effect. So when I started getting desperate and I took the whistling Emocon extra, I felt an effect within half an hour. So that's very profound. What I also wanted to say, so this is plant-based medicine. Now I'm going to take the antipsychotic. So I told you I wanted to replace the big pharma psychiatric medication. Plantain is not only for psychosis, or it's not only for psychosis, but for me it's the most known because my friends take it and they are psychotic. And it works really bad, really well. I'm sorry. So you take for this. So here it's different. That this is a blend. I'm taking 10 drops each morning and one on the niveaupunt. I don't know how to say that in English. I'm going to translate it. I'm going to explain it later on. But the plantain is, for instance, a normal Emocon. That's only plantain inside of it. And you take like 5 drops 2 times a day. You take it with water or directly on the tongue, like I do it, but normally you take it in the water. So you take 5 drops, and every time, I'm not going to open it, every time you put 1 drop on the niveaupunt. So his medication works with the ideas of chakras. So niveaupunt 6 is, for instance, the third eye. So you put something on your third eye, but plantain is on, let me see, I thought it was the third, on the solar plexus. Yeah, on the solar plexus. So you take 5 drops of Emocon with water 2 times a day, and you put 1 drop on your solar plexus. So I'm not sure anymore where the solar plexus is, because I'm doubting if the second or the third is on the navel. You know what, a belly button. I'm confused, to be honest. I don't know anymore where the third and where the second is, but you put it where your solar plexus is. That's all I wanted to say. To me, what I also wanted to say, there's alcohol inside of it. I have other medications, natural medications with much more alcohol in it than this. So there's relatively, with the Emocons that I'm using now, there's not a lot of alcohol inside of it. But to me, it's still, I'm very sensitive. But I think that not every person that is functioning bodily normally can take this medication. If you really have like severe hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, then maybe it's a problem. If you have liver problems on top of that, maybe that's a problem as well. So only in very rare cases, I think you cannot take it with that much alcohol. But in all other cases, I think, especially if you put it in the water, it's no problem. That's all I wanted to say. I guess that this is my video. Have a nice week. I hope the Muslims had a good sugar festival. Namaste. Anna. No, just Anna. Like the Indians say. Okay. People, please pray for me so I can move. And hopefully until next week, I hope I have a better day rhythm then and I can normally make my videos. Okay. Namaste.